Day of Chodesh Mar Cheshvan, and we have the schus of beginning together the fourth Perek of Maseches Pesachim, a very important Perek, La Halacha, although much of the relevant halachas that come out of this Perek with regards to Minhagim, we're not going to get to in this Amud, that we will have to wait really to the end of the Amud, and to the the Amud that we are going to continue tomorrow. But the fourth Perek of Maseches Pesachim is where all of the halachas of Minhagim, all of the ideas of Minhagim, everything that we pass about Minhagim, this is where much of that comes from. And Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, we are beginning 4 lines from the bottom of Daf Nun Amud Aleph. Says the Mishnah as follows: Makom shenahagu la'asos malacha ba'arbi Pesachim ad chatzos osim. But at a place where they have a custom to do malacha on Erev Pesach until chatzos osim, you can do malacha there. Makom shenahagu shelo la'asos, in a place that they have the minhag not to do malacha, ein osim, you don't do malacha there. What happens, and this is where all the questions of Minhagim begin, what happens if you're a traveler? You live in a place, you have a guy that lives in a place that they do the malacha on Erev Pesach until Chatzos. They go to a place, or you go from a place that you don't do malacha on Erev Pesach until Chatzos to a place that you do. Says the Mishnah, this is the golden rule of Minhagim. They give him, meaning the halacha is that you accept upon yourself the stringencies, the chumras of the place that you just came from, your locale, your home territory, and the chumras of the place that you are going to. Meaning, you take upon yourself the chumras of where you come from, you keep your minhag, and if the minhag of the place that you're going to is more machmer than you, then you take the minhag of the place that is more machmer. Obviously, this is talking about travelers, not relocators, and we'll see those halachas later. Says the Mishnah, continuing in Daf Nun Amud Beis, what is the rationale behind this golden rule? Va'al yishane adam mipnei hamachlokes. Don't change it, don't stick out mipnei hamachlokes, because you're going to end up making machlokim. You're going to end up making tzaras. You show up to a place where my minhag is to be mekel. No, chas v'shalom. Chas v'shalom. If you show up in a place and you decide that you're going to be mekel, you have no right to do so. You're going to make disputes. And likewise, says the Mishnah, Hamalach Peres Shvius, Mimakum Shekolu Makum Shaloikolu. If a person takes Peres Shvius, they take Shemitah produce. The halacha is just background that Shemitah produce, fruit dependent, for as long as there is fruit growing wild and available of this variety, peaches. As long as there's peaches in the fields available that everybody can come and take, the peaches that you have in your house, you can eat. Meaning the peaches that you collected from the field you can eat. What happens if there's no more peaches in the field? You have to get rid of the peaches that are in your house, because Shemitah produce can only be eaten if it is available for everybody. So the halacha is Peres Shvius. If you take some Peres Shvius, some peaches, from a place that they are finished, to a place that they haven't finished, or from a place that they have finished to that they haven't finished to a place that they have finished. In both of those cases, you're going to be machmer in both cases. Chayev levar, you have to destroy the peaches. Rabbi Yehuda says, no, you don't. Say v'havelach af ata, meaning if somebody says to you, how could you be eating peaches? You say, go and get peaches. It's not in this place, but if you travel 2 hours down the road, you can still get peaches. That doesn't mean that I have to destroy my peaches. Okay, says the Gemara as follows: My area Arvi Pesachim. Why are we talking about Erev Pesach? It's Erev Pesach, they have a minute not to do malacha. It says, I feel like Arba Shabbos v'Arba Yom Tovim Nami. You're not allowed to do malacha on Erev Shabbos or Erev Yom Tov either. Ditanya, because we have a brisa, ha'is malacha ba'Arba Shabbos v'Yom Tovim mina mincha l'mala, ein roisim bracha la'olam. That somebody that does malacha on Erev Shabbos and Erev Yom Tov from mincha time and on, that's from half an hour after Chatzos. From the time that you can have mincha and on, if you do malacha there, you won't see any benefit from that. you won't see any benefit. Rashi points out that mina mincha here does not mean mincha gedola. Doesn't mean half an hour after chatzos. Rashi holds mincha here is mincha gedana, which means teisha shas mechza, 9.5 hours into the day, which means that for the first 9.5 hours on a 6 to 6 day, that would be by 3:30 in the afternoon. If Shabbos is coming in at 6, that means by 3:30 you close up shop. No more malacha. So why are we talking about Erev Shabbos, Erev Pesach? Talk Erev Shabbos and Erev Yantiv. Says the Gemara, no. Hasam mina mincha lamala. There, it's only forbidden from mincha and onwards, meaning from 9.5 hours of the day. Who does samach mincha? But before mincha, there's no isur. There is no isur of doing malacha before mincha time. Hacha here mechatzos. It is already asur from chatzos, meaning there's an isur of doing malacha on Erev Pesach already from chatzos. Inami, alternatively, hasam there siman bracha u'delay chazi. There, we're only talking about a siman bracha, meaning Chazal say you're not going to get any benefit, you're not going to make any money. Whatever you make, you're going to end up losing. It's not going to be good for your business. It's just a waste of time. Aval shemusa lo yeh mishamtinan le. But we don't put you in chayrim if you do malacha on Erev Shabbos and Erev Yantiv. We just say it's not good for your business. Hacha here on Erev Pesach, we would put you in chayrim for working on Erev Pesach. We're going to challenge all of this, says the Gemara, or at least investigate it. Says the Gemara, Kufa. Let's understand the statement in its entirety. If you go somebody that does malacha on Erev Shabbos, Erev Yantiv, from mincha and onwards, and on Matzah Shabbos, and on Matzah Yantiv, and on Matzah Yom Kippur. Uv'chol makam sheyesh sham nidnud avera. In any place where there is a nidnud avera, meaning that there is it's a borderline avera. Why? Because it means maybe you're going to end up working into Shabbos, or maybe you'll start working just before Shabbos comes out. Anytime that it's bordering on avera time, it has a shmek of an isur, which the Gemara, the Gemara is, or the Bryce is gonna clarify. Means what do you mean? Anytime that it has a shmek of an avera, la'asui tainis tzibur, that includes a tainis tzibur like Tisha B'av, or the tainesim that they would make as a public fast day when there was no rain, where it was also to do malacha. Everybody has to come to shul. In fact, go out into the streets and cry out to Hashem together. You're not allowed to have your shop open. So, if you go and work there, you won't see any benefit from that. By the way, this is paskined in Shulchan Aruch, that a person that works on Tisha B'av and on Purim, is not going to get any bracha from that whatsoever. Tana Rabban and the Rabbi started the Brisa as follows: Yesh Zariz v'Niskar. There are those that work with diligence, that work quickly, v'niskar, and they're rewarded for it. And there are those that are diligent, they work hard, and they lose out. Yesh shafel v'niskar. You have lazy people that are rewarded. Yesh shafel v'nifsad, and you have lazy people that end up losing out. Zaris v'niskar. What does it mean? A person that works hard and is rewarded. David kula shabta. He works hard all week, and he doesn't work on Erev Shabbos. Zaris v'nifsad, somebody that is very diligent and loses out, is the Avid Kula Shabsa. He works the whole week, and he also works on Erev Shabbos. He also works on Erev Shabbos, meaning he's very diligent, making sure that he works at all the time that he can work. Means that time that he spends on Erev Shabbos, it's as if he didn't work. He worked for nothing, didn't get anything. Shavu v'niskar, a lazy person that benefits, doesn't work the whole week, and he also doesn't work on Erev Shabbos. So it's good. He did a mitzvah by being lazy on Erev Shabbos. Shavu v'nifsad, lazy person that loses that is the loy avi kol Shabbos. He doesn't work the whole week. This is the worst. And since he didn't work the whole week, he goes, oh, gewalt, I have to do something on Erev Shabbos. So he spends all of Erev Shabbos working. That's the person that was lazy and loses out. Amar Rava says, "Honey nashis in Mechaisa." There are certain very pampered women in Mechaisa. Af al gav the loy avdan avita b'malei Shabbos. Even though they don't work on Erev Shabbos, mishum mifankusahu, because they are pampered. Dahakula yaimanami loikav, then they also don't work any other day of the week. Afilu hachi, even so, shalfa v'niska karinlu. We call them lazy, but rewarded for it. Meaning, they are rewarded for not working on Erev Shabbos. Psst. Rewarded for not working on Erev Shabbos. You mekayim mitzvah by being lazy on Erev Shabbos. Rava asked the question. He said, I don't understand. Pasuk says, Ksiv, ki godel ad shamayim chazdecha. Hashem, your kindness goes all the way up to shamayim. Ksiv, and the pasuk also says, pasuk in Tehillim. Ksiv, the pasuk says, ki godel me'al shamayim chazdecha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, your chesed is above the heavens. So, where do you have chesed that goes up to the heavens and chesed that is above the heavens? So Hakate said, how does this work? Kan ba'isim lishma. This is when a person does a mitzvah lishma, meaning a person decides, I'm not going to work Erev Shabbos because it's Erev Shabbos. That's called doing it lishma. V'kan ba'isim shelo lishma. And yeah, it's isim lo lishma. I don't work any day of the week. I'm not going to work Erev Shabbos. That's where the chesed of Hashem only goes up to Shemayim. But a person that does the same thing, or even doesn't do the same thing, right? Refrains from Malach on Erev Shabbos, Mincha Lamala, they are called a Zoris V'Niskar. They worked the whole week, and then Erev Shabbos they took off. So they, Kodesh Baruch Hu gives them parnasa as if they worked then, and Hashem gives them reward. That is Me'al Shemayim. Ruchda Rabbi Yehuda, and this is one of the most famous lines of all of Talmud Bavli, to the best of my knowledge, I think. Ruchda Rabbi Yehuda, the Amar, this is the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, who said, the Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Amar Rav, in the name of Rav, La'olam yasuk adam b'Torah u'mitzvos. Person should always do Torah mitzvahs, af al pi sheloi lishma, even though he doesn't do it for the right reasons, if he doesn't do it with the right intention. Shemitach sheloi lishma, ba lishma. Because if they do it, if a person does a mitzvah and learns Torah, sheloi lishma, not for the sake of doing it, they will ultimately end up doing it for the right reasons. Ba lishma. Tana Rabban, the rest says as follows. We're going to get some business advice. Anybody that is waiting for his wife to earn a living from his wife to earn a living, we'll see what that means, and from a mill, you won't see any bracha from this at all. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? Schar ishtoi. What do you mean? Maskulta. Maskulta means from her scales. From the lesson of Lishakel, to weigh. Maskulta. She has scales that she takes to the market, and she rents out the usage of these scales, which means that she has to go from place to place, trying to woo customers to come and use her scales. He says, we have scales. Go out and make some money off of the scales. It's a lot of bizarre, it's a lot of denigration for one's wife, and the profit is very slim. Means the person is saying, get out and go make some money doing something stupid. His wife is, don't wait. Don't wait for those profits. And the same thing is true about a rechaya, person that's renting out the hand mill. It's a lot of schlepping to find customers, and the profit is very low. Says the Gemara, Rechaya, the hand mill means agusa, by renting it out. Aval avda umizavna, if a person is in the business of making them, a person's wife makes mills and sells them. Ishtabachi, that's a wonderful thing. Ishtabachi the Torah, the Shlomo Melech praises her. Pasuk says, the Pasuk says, Sodin Asav Simkar. An Eishes Chayil, woman makes garments and she sells them. That's a very beautiful, wonderful thing to do. Woman should make a living from her handiwork, so long as it doesn't bring her to Bizayin. And it's worth her time. Tana Rabban, and the Brisa says as follows: a person that makes a living from rods, or other kind of means rods or cans over kankanim, jugs. He's not going to make any. He's not going to see any bracha from this at all. Why? What's wrong with going into the selling of barrel business? What's the reason? Since they're very big, these are big things. They are much more subject to ayin hara. People are going to look and go, look at that guy with all of his 25 trucks coming to the market. So that's not a good profession for a good Jewish boy, because it attracts a lot of attention. And that's the yisod of ayin hara, is that a person that attracts attention to himself also attracts negative attention, and that can affect one negatively. Tana Rabban, Bryce says as follows: Tagri Simta, merchants that are in the market, and those that Simta, Rashi says, the Tagri Simta, people that sell open wares in the market. You open up your roll of whatever. Come to my store in the marketplace. I have everything available there. So that's Tagri Simta, and people that sell small cattle, meaning sheep and goats. And those who cut down beautiful trees, meaning for their wood. And those that whenever they are asked to please split, they always take the nicer looking share for themselves. They're not going to see any benefit from any of these activities. My time was the reason. Because people are going to look at them and go, that guy. Meaning they attract a lot of attention. People are going to ask questions about him. Person puts himself out there, they're going to end up attracting negative attention. Says the next brisa, Tana Rabban, we have another brisa. Dalal prutas, you have 4 prutas, 4 payments, meaning 4 things that you earn money for that you're never going to get any bracha from ever. One is 4 professions here. Schar kosum, the schar of scribes, people that write Sefer Torah, mezuzahs, tefillin, they don't get any bracha from that. Schar meturgamin, and the wages that are given to the maturgaman, that's the person that translates the shir that the Rosh Yeshiva would give, or that the Baal Kriya is learning from Lashon Kodesh into Aramaic. That was called the maturgaman. They would get a salary, and these individuals, they would not. Says the Brisa, they don't see any bracha from their earnings. Schar Yisomim, and anybody that profits off of the estate of Yisomim, meaning they're told, hold on to, you hired to take over the money of the Yisomim, to hold on to it, to invest it properly, and you keep part of the profits. That's called Schar Yisomim. And money that comes from overseas, meaning people that make their money doing international trading. The Gemara is going to challenge these 4 things, explaining why is it that you don't see a simon bracha from them. It makes sense to say that the people that are translating the shir don't get bracha. Why? Mishum de Mexic is Schar Shabbos, because it looks like they work on Saturdays, right? Ain't going to work on Saturdays except for the guy whose job it is to stand up and translate the shir on Shabbos. That's the rest of the week he does whatever else he does. How's it mutter? So it's mutter because Rashi says, this is the this is about the Maturgamanim. They hear from the Talmud Chacham and then they translate. Why is it mutter? So there's ways of making it mutter. Either they do this also during the week sometimes, or they have other malachas that they do that are they're paid b'havla. Umas Yisomim, and it makes sense why a person wouldn't profit from the most of Yisomim, from orphan money. It says because the orphans are not able to forgive, meaning he invests $100 from the orphans. He makes $10 of the profit. He takes some of it, they take some of it. So that's a normative way. The guy that does the investment for you takes a portion, but the Yisomim don't understand that. They're kids and they cannot forgive you. They can't say, we're okay with it. This is our investment, and we're happy to pay the financial advisor, the guy that's investing the money. We're happy to pay him his fair share. They cannot give mechila. So it feels like, it looks like you're stealing from Yisomim. Most money that's made doing international trading, it is an inherently risky job. And you cannot assume that miracles are going to happen all the time, that every shipment is going to make it across the sea. Very often it would happen that the ship would capsize and the money would end up getting lost and all the projects would get, meaning you end up losing a lot when you do international trading. Says the Gemara, I have a question. What's the reason that people that write Sefer Torah and mezuzahs, they don't make money? It's a reputable, respectable, wonderful job. People need it. Why? It takes many years to study and perfect. Why would you not make a parnasa from that? Says the Gemara. Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi says Rabbi Shua ben Levi. I'll tell you exactly why. Kaf dalatanias Yoshua Anshe Knesset Hagdala. That the Anshe Knesset Hagdala fasted 24 fasts. Says the Marashah, 24 fasts in correspondence with the 24 mishmaros. That the Kohanim would have 24 watches of the Kohanim. The Anshe Knesset Hagdala fasted 24 fasts. Al Kaisvin Svarim Tefillin Mezuzah Shaloi Yisashru. That the people that write Tefillin and Mezuzahs and Svarim should not become wealthy from such a trade. Why? Because if they get wealthy in Kaisvin, they would stop writing, and then the world would be lacking all of these important things. Meaning, if you go into this trade, you're going to be stuck with it forever. You don't get to retire. Tana Rabbanan, the Brisa says as follows: Kaisvin Svarim Tefillin Mezuzahs, those that write Svarim Tefillin Mezuzahs, Heim v'tagrihem, them and their traders and their traders, and anybody that is involved in the work of heaven, which includes the people that sell tcheles, will never see a bracha from their work. However, but if they do it lishma l'shem mitzvah, right, then they could get bracha from it. They could make a good living from it. Meaning, if a person is involved in Melachas HaKodesh, doing something involved in learning and teaching and mitzvah items or whatever the case is, and they are not making a living, it means that means that they're not doing lishma. That's everything to say. That's what the Gemara says. Says the Gemara, Bnei Baishan, no, the people in Baishan. This is going to be a little bit of the sugya of back to minhagim. Bnei Baishan, no, the minhag of the people of Baishan was that they wouldn't go from Tzur to Tzidon. Those are two coastal cities on Erev Shabbos. Meaning that short hop, skip, and a jump. They didn't do this on Erev Shabbos. Rashi here points out that the Tzidon, the market day was on Friday, so they would lose out on that market day, and they would only go probably one other market day a week. So they would miss out on that market day. Also, Banayu come to Rabbi Yochanan. A generation later, their children, their sons, came to Rabbi Yochanan, and they said, they said, for our fathers this was possible. Our fathers were very wealthy. But for us, the parnas is not great. We need the extra market day. We need to be able to go from Tzur to Tzidon. They didn't go Erev Shabbos because covered Shabbos. They're not going to go. But for us, it's necessary. We do need to. Amaru, he said to them, your ancestors have already taken it upon themselves. Shenarma, the pasuk says, Shema b'ni musar avicha v'al titer shtar simecha. Listen, my son, says Shlomo Melech, to the rebuke, to the musar of your father, v'al titer shtar simecha, and do not abandon the Torah of your mother. Torah of your mother is the operative phrase here. Torah simecha, that you should hold on to the minhagim of your ancestors as well, and to be furthered and explained tomorrow as we carry on with the end of Nun Amud and onto Nun Aleph Amud Aleph into the sugyas of minhagim be'Hashem Yisbarach. Looking forward to continuing at 6:15 tomorrow morning, BRS West. We'll see you there.